Hello learners at home. You are welcome to our home economics class for today. And our topic is on food hygiene and preparation. Our objective for the lesson is that at the end of the lesson, I expect every one of you to be able to define, explain to me the term food hygiene. State some rules for ensuring proper food hygiene. 3. Explain guidelines for successful cooking of food at home. Before we go on, we will start from the explanation of what we mean by food hygiene. What do we mean by food hygiene? Food hygiene can be defined as a means of preventing harmful bacteria from growing in food by keeping the kitchen, appliances and tools in the kitchen, and even yourself clean, as well as washing, cooking, preserving and storing food properly. What do we mean by this? The way you handle your food will prevent microorganisms from entering into the food. The way you handle your cooking tools will also assist you in preventing microorganisms from affecting the food. The environment where you are cooking it, you yourself that is cooking the food, how neat you are. Your nails, how is your nails? Because if you cooking with a long nails, the long nails will be able to attract germs and you might transfer it into the food you are cooking. These are the different ways in which our food are being contaminated. Now, we are going to rules for food hygiene, or guidelines that can help us to maintain a good food hygiene. Some of these rules are: we should make sure that our cooking materials, utensils, like cutting boards and other surfaces are thoroughly cleaned before using them and after using them with hot soapy water. 2. Wash our fruit, fresh fruits and vegetables that you know that we are going to eat them raw with a salt solution or vinegar solution. This will help to reduce the microorganisms in them. Wash the top of cans, such as your canned milk, your tin tomatoes, your salad creams, your corned beef. Clean the surface very well before even opening them, because microorganisms from the outside might go into the inside. Use clean plates to serve your food. Make sure that your kitchen is well kept clean. Prevent pests, flies, ants, cockroaches, mice from the kitchen so that they will not contaminate food and surface with their eggs and with diseases they carry. These are many ways in which we can make sure that our food are kept under a good hygiene. You as an individual that is cooking, always make sure that you cover your hair in order to prevent stripes of your hair from entering into the food. Always wash your hands before handling food. Store your perishable foods such as meat, fresh fish in the freezer so that they will not get contaminated. Some of our cooked food, always keep it hot until when they are to be eaten. Cover and store leftover foods in the refrigerator so that they will not get contaminated. Now, after making sure that you keep your food items, the utensils you are going to use to prepare them very clean, how are you going to make sure that your food are being cooked and served in a good hygienic condition? Remember, the topic says food hygiene and preparation. When you prepare your food items in a good hygienic condition, now you are going to cook them. The way you cook this food also keeps them safe. Before you start your cooking, as you are ready to cook, there are certain procedures you have to follow. And these procedures is what we refer to as the guidelines for successful cooking and serving of meals. They include: you plan what you are going to cook, how and when to cook. Make sure that in your planning, make sure that your meals are well balanced. When we are talking about balanced meal, we are talking about food that contains all the food nutrients in equal proportion. There must be carbohydrates, protein, vitamins, minerals, fats and oil, so that they can give the body what the body needs. For you to plan very well, you have to prepare your shopping list of ingredients which you are going to use to cook, so that you will not forget any. Remember, when you are preparing your list, go for the foods that are in season. Foods that are in season are very cheap and they are available. Don't go for food that are not available. If you prefer to cook food that are not in season, you might find it difficult to get them in the market, and whenever you see them, they might be very, very expensive. It's like in this season now, you decided to use a sherry, the one we know as our one for the fruits we are going to use. It's not in season. To get it now will be very difficult. Therefore, we have many fruits in season now. We have pineapple, watermelon. You go for them. They will be very cheap for you to use. Write your shopping list. You buy the necessary ingredients. Arrange the kitchen for your cooking. Make sure that all the utensils and materials needed are available and within each reach. Clean all utensils to be used to maintain your good cooking hygiene. Make yourself clean and ready for the work by doing the following: tie your hair with clean scarf, wear a clean apron, wash your hands thoroughly. If you have sore fingers, wrap it up with waterproof plasters. If you have to visit the toilet while cooking, scrub your hands very well before touching food. After sneezing avoid sneezing into food. Sneeze away from food. Use tissue paper. Cook using the best method in order to have maximum retention of food nutrients. Because if you are not cooking using the rightful cooking method, there are certain foods or food nutrients that heat destroys their nutrients. We know we have different cooking methods such as boiling, stewing, steaming, frying. Choose the rightful method depending on the food you are going to cook. Get the food out just before serving it. For instance, the meat for dinner should not be left exposed for long period on the kitchen table. Avoid accidents by adopting safety procedures in the kitchen. The way you handle your knife. Keep all the kitchen equipment in a safe place. Use the rightful kitchen equipment for its use. For example, don't use knife when you are frying. We have what we call a frying spoon. Use the rightful equipment for what is being meant for. Then, when we are cooking this food, these are the guidelines we mentioned when you are cooking food. Therefore, I'm going to give you a few guidelines in your beverages preparation. We are not going to go into total food preparation. We are taking like breakfast, our beverages for an example. What do we mean by beverages? Beverages are liquid for drinking. It can be served cold, it can be served hot. You can take it either in the morning, you can take it either in the evening, you can take it even in the night, depending on how you want it. This leads us to uses of beverages. Our beverages can be used for either as your refreshment drink, which is the ones we use in quenching our taste, such as your chilled juice, your minerals, chilled water. You can equally use them as nourishing drinks, which are the ones that you take to nourish the body, such as their milk drinks, yogurt, ice cream, egg flip. They are nourishing drinks. Our soya beans milk, our tiger nut drink, they are all nourishing drinks. They contain nutrients. We use them to nourish our body. When we are talking about the refreshing drinks, they are the ones we use to refresh our body. When the weather is too hot, you need to refresh. You go for your chilled drinks like chilled Coke, your chilled Zobo. They are nourishing, they are refreshing drinks. Chilled water, they are refreshing drinks. Your fruit juice, they are refreshing drink. Then you can use them as stimulants, which are the ones we take where the weather is cold, in order to stimulate the body, such as our tea, coffee, cocoa drink. Although cocoa drink can act as a refreshing drink and also as a stimulant drink, depending on how you take it. When you take it cold, it's then as a refreshing drink. But when you take it hot, it might act as a stimulating drink. Now I will give you a procedure on how to prepare. In food preparation, we are going to prepare our soya beans milk. And we are going to serve this soya beans milk with our plantain chips or potato chips, because I can see plantain is too expensive now, but you can still go for potato chips, and it's still the same procedure of preparing your plantain chips you can still use in preparing your potato chips. What are the ingredients we need for our soya beans milk? 1 cup of soya beans, half cup of clean warm water, sugar to taste, flavor. When we are talking about flavors, we are talking about our essence like our vanilla, strawberry, and pineapple, and milk flavor, and many others. What are the procedure? Pick the soya beans, pick away the stones and dirt from it. Wash it properly and soak it on warm water in order to make it easy for you to remove the seed coats. After pulling the seed coats, washing it and pulling the seed coats, grind to smooth paste. Add water. Mix it very well. Strain it through a clean strainer. Drain it very well. Sieve it well, the way you sieve ogi. Then the water you get out of it, put it on the fire and allow it to boil for like 20 minutes to reduce the scones. When you are boiling it, you notice it's foaming. Don't just put it on fire and go away. Stay around, stir it so that it will not pour out, because it will be foaming until the foam reduces. When this start foaming, you know it's now ready. You put it down Add your sugar to your taste and flavour. Chill it and serve. Chill it and serve. On your potato chips and plantain chips which you are going to serve with it, get your potato, peel it, slice it, blanch it by adding hot water to it within 5 minutes. Bring it out to make it crispy after frying. Put it on your frying pan on the fire. Add your groundnut oil, allow it to get hot. Then fry the potato and serve it with your chilled soya milk. If you prefer using plantain, get unripe plantain, slice it, fry it on a hot groundnut oil. Allow it to get cold. Serve it with your chilled soya milk. Evaluation. Explain the guidelines for food hygiene and food preparation respectively. In your food hygiene, remember, I expect you to be able to give me the answers like keeping your hands clean while preparing your food. When you go to toilet during food preparation, wash your hands very well, scrub it very well before touching the food. Sneeze away from food. Keep your cooking utensils clean, and many others. Hygiene on food preparation. Make sure the utensils which you are going to use for the food preparations are well clean. Cover your hair very well. Put on a clean apron. Wash your hands. Cover if there's any cut on your hand. Seal it up with a nylon plaster before cooking. Then mention 2 uses of beverages. I expect answers like use our beverages are being used as nourishing drinks. We use them as refreshing drinks. We use them as stimulants. Your assignment for the day: list 5 materials needed for washing up in the kitchen after meal preparation. Remember, in your food hygiene, after food preparation, you are to wash up both the table surface, everything you use while preparing food. Wash them up and store them properly to avoid accidents, and also to avoid your food being contaminated by bacteria. Those materials that you use in washing up after preparing, state them for me. 2. Following the procedures taught in the class, prepare a soya beans milk. Serve your parents and write down their observations. Thank you, and see you in our next class.